If you assassinate the old version of yourself, the soul has nothing else to cling to but the new version of you. Hey, welcome back to Uncivilized Rebirth. Last episode I talked about emotions and learning emotional control. In this episode I want to talk about being your own hero and what that means to me and how you can apply it to your life. So we take a kid who was depressed, overweight, joins the military, gets in shape, has a pretty decent career, gets medically retired, is a stay-at-home dad, wife leaves, and the whole life has collapsed and have to start over from scratch. And after a couple of years, things were just not working out. And I really had to sit down and be like, who did I want to be? Was I going to be a failure? Was I going to be a quitter? Or was I going to buckle down and do what I needed to do to become the man that I wanted to be, or I need to be to do what I need to do with my life? And so for us, when we really get fed up with everything we're doing in life just not working out, what really sucks is we have to look in the mirror and be like, oh, who is the central player in all of these roles that I've been my whole life? A stay-at-home dad, a husband, a soldier, a homeschool kid, whatever role you're in. It's I was the center character. It's nothing works out. But I realized I was living for other people, what they expected of me, what they wanted me to do. It's what do these Christians want me to do? How do they want me to act? How am I supposed to be as a stay-at-home dad? How am I supposed to be as a husband? Who am I supposed to be as a person? What do my parents expect of me? We have to throw that out the window completely. Just out the window. Because at the end of the day, what matters is who you want to be. Are you being true to yourself? And are you being the better version of yourself that you want to be? Now, the way I look at it is there's not version 1, 2, 3, 4 where you upload a program. It's all better. What you're actually doing is you're giving yourself parameters for your brain to start morphing into for your base programming to now become the new way that you want to be. So let's say, historically, for me as a kid, I didn't make my bed or do anything in the morning, and I was just lazy. I didn't know any better. Now, after being a soldier, and then after choosing how I want to be, I take aspects of okay, I don't want to be lazy anymore. I do want these parts of being a soldier, but I don't want to be a soldier, because as a soldier, my heart was totally turned off, and I really wasn't great at relationships. And I don't know if I am still anyway, but I had to take different aspects of what I've been in the past. And it's do I keep these or get rid of these? Okay, I'll keep these. Now, what are the new things that I want to be? Okay, I want to think analytically. I want to be punctual. I want to get up. I want to exercise every day. I want to be neat and tidy. I want to be a great dad. I want to be emotionally there for my kids. I don't want to be legitimately plugged in. And I want to do YouTube. There's more I want to do than that, but all that takes consistency and takes learning. So I had to go in. I had to learn how to be a better dad, or actually how to be a dad. And it's read books, watch YouTube videos, and just start absorbing this stuff. So okay, once I start getting all this information and data, and I start acting in that way, then that starts programming my brain to be okay, here's the base way I act, no matter what. So let's say I take, for instance, the programming from my parents. Show emotions, you might get in trouble, or show emotions, or you get hurt and you just get treated poorly. It wasn't that way every time, but it's like, okay, so I have this programming where I can be the way my parents were, which is my base programming historically, or I now have all this knowledge that I can apply consistently. And then what happens is when the signal goes up to my brain, it's like, kid cries, what do I do now? And the signal goes up my brain. Instead of going to the old marker of react in the old ways, I've now programmed my brain to go to the new marker. Like, this is how I will conduct myself now. So now that becomes my new base programming. Just like getting up and going to the gym. If I don't go to the gym in the morning, something in my day is off and missing. Like, literally my whole day just feels different. That's because I've programmed it in, and it's taken a long time, but you have to do it over and over and over till where you do it automatically. Just like folding clothes. Let's say historically you get your clothes out, you throw them on your bed, and you leave them there and you just pluck from them. And then you go throw them in a chair or the couch and you just pull from it. And this maybe once or twice a month you fold your clothes. But if you sit there and make yourself every time I pour my clothes out and I fold them, I don't want to do this, I'm going to do it anyway. I don't want to do this, I'm going to do it anyway. And you do that over and over and over and over until one day you pour them out, you fold your clothes, then you walk out of the room and you're like, oh wait, I wasn't even being conscious or aware that I folded my clothes. That's because you programmed in a new process or a new way you conduct yourself. And that's how you're creating another version of you, or being your own hero, because you're rescuing yourself from the way you used to be. Let's say things go bad in your life and all you do is panic and you just go like into emo mode, no insult to anybody, or you just go into this mode where you can't decide, you've got to talk to somebody, and whatever they say, you choose to do that. Well, man, nobody knows your situation better than you, so who better to go to and be the person that you can depend on yourself and be like, okay, I'm going to make this decision and this is what I'm going to do. I think that the outcome from this will be the best for myself. Because truthfully, how many people put themselves in your shoes and you're asking them what to do and they're thinking this will be the best outcome for them completely? I don't think anybody. There may be some people like that, but you have to rescue yourself at some point in time. And it's not easy. It's really hard work, because when your house is silent, nobody's calling, nobody's checking on you, nobody's doing anything, you can sit there and be like, oh, woe is me. Nobody loves me. Nobody cares about me. Or you can get up and be like, wait a second. Like, what would the main character in this story do? Well, the main character in this story of an adventure story is going to take any type of element that comes in and use it to their advantage for a victory. And that's what you can look at your enemies. Let's say, for instance, let's say James Bond, and something happens. Like, he's going down the street, something trivial happens that some people would just ruin their day, but for him, he's just like, and literally gives it no more thought and keeps moving on. Because like, we can do that in our life, where it's like the littlest thing can happen, like a buggy hit your buggy or something, and then you got to go tell so and so, and then talk to somebody about it and make a big deal and post about it. When in reality, it should be just like shrugging off like a feather falling on you. You're just like, oh, this is not to do with anything with the main plot, because you are in your own adventure on your life. You are the main character, and you find the plot points, and you control those actually. And when I say that, it's like a book. When you're a kid, you're reading it, and it's like you read it in the page. What does a character do next? That's the point where you shift the story. Like, what do I do next? Do I give up? Or do I sit here, choose what to do next, and stand back up and keep going? Because being your own hero means that you don't run to anybody else. Like you don't give up, you don't quit, and you become somebody that you can depend on. The other day I was thinking about this. It's like if you assassinate the old version of yourself, the soul has nothing else to cling to but the new version of you that you're wanting to be. And I have found tremendous progress in physical exercise. Do I have a six pack? No, not by any means. But here's where I've learned grit and determination, where I will train until I literally fall down. And when I'm falling down and I'm just in a heap of sweat and just exhaustion and pain, I ask myself, is anything broken? I'm like, nope. Are my muscles working? Yep. Can I breathe? Yes. Okay. I can stand up. I literally can stand up, and I will stand up. I'm like, oh, cool. I got some more gas in the tank. And then I started applying that in other areas of life. And so when we want to give up, like we got to ask ourselves, like, are our muscles working? Is anything broken? Can we breathe? Well, then we need to stand back up. Jocko Willink says it really great. He says, step back into the fray, or step into the fray. Because if we step back, no battle is going to win itself for us at all. You know, like we must do it ourselves, and every day's a battle. Just making your bed is a victory. Doing your laundry, folding your laundry is a victory. Taking your trash out, checking your mail, washing your dishes. I fail at washing my dishes sometimes. I'm better at folding my laundry than washing my dishes. Self-care, taking a shower every day, making sure you clip your fingernails, putting yourself together, just taking care of your main vessel. It's the only one you're going to get in this go around. So when you start doing these things and you start choosing who you want to be, and I've talked in other videos about writing out a character sheet and then living that out. And I have a thing called the character trigger that you can apply to start working on getting that coding or that character buried so deep in your mind that you cannot escape it. What if sometimes you're sitting there and you're just doing the laziest thing possible, but then all of a sudden you got up forcefully, automatically, and like, no, I'm not going to do this. And you listen to that small voice of like, oh, this needs to be done. I'm going to go do it. Because what's cool is like when you start getting victories, you get dopamine hits. Like you literally get hits after you finish a project or you finish doing something. You're like, oh my gosh, this feels amazing. And then you miss it. You're like, okay, how do I do that again? Okay, let me go complete something else. Let me do another hard task and get that done. And see, what's his name? Oh man, he wears the nose strip. Alex Hermosi. This cool quote he said, I never regretted doing hard work or doing anything hard. So basically, being your own hero takes a lot of hard work. And you have to write down what you want to be and who you want to be. You need to write down like your behaviors. You need to write down your habits. And then you have to start doing it. It's uncomfortable because the energy is going in a different pattern in your brain of wanting you to behave in the old manners. But just remember that your soul is operating your body and your mind. But when you let those old programs run automatically, then your energy is just going into your brain and going out your body in a pre-programmed format, which humans do that, like know how to do that. It's like, that's what school does. That's what the military does. That's what parents do. They put in formatting into the brain. But literally, you have the power to override that. Basically, like you're taking the needle off the record, taking that old record off. You're like, this is the record that I want to play. I wrote it, and I shall be jamming on this sucker 24/7. But the thing is, like, that old record is wanting to pop back on all the time, all the time. And you have to mechanically, in your mind, choose where that energy is going to the new process. All right, I'm done. Roadhouse, Spiritual Hard.